Well, hello there. It's a pleasure and an honor. Today I got Andy Scott from SWEET and Pete Lincoln. Let's start with you. How are you in these days? You're touring the whole May, I guess?
Yeah, we're getting close to being halfway through, and tiredness sets in. You know, as you get a little older, you look forward to having a sleep in the afternoon.
All right. How about you, Mr. Lincoln?
Yeah, we're good. It's going really well. The shows have been great. I think the biggest test is coming. We've got 4 shows in a row, starting tomorrow, and then a day off, and then 6 in a row after that. And that's 6 in a row is quite a lot for us old guys. But the audiences have been so good, and it's a lot of fun, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
Who did that? It was your manager, and you said yes.
It's
wow.
just Stefan Müller. It was his fault.
Right.
Yeah.
He's the promoter.
Yeah, so it's his fault. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Can I talk about what's going to happen after Berlin? From Berlin? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. What about Tony and Bruce? I guess they're hanging around in some local bars or sleeping or whatever.
Bruce will be asleep in his hotel room.
Actually, Bruce was heading out to eat.
Oh, was he?
That's his other pastime, eating and sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay. At the moment you're on the Still Got the Rock tour 2019. If I counted correctly, you already had 8 concerts in the last 2 weeks. Saarbrücken, Stuttgart, Frankfurt. Yeah. How's the tour going so far?
Yeah, it's great. Lots of people, usual crowd that's crazy. You know,
Germany.
Yeah. We also try and mix it up and talk to them about some funny things that have been happening and
nice
stuff like that.
And are there also some meet and greets after the show, or
Not at the moment.
We've had a couple.
Yeah.
okay?
But there's a lot of familiar faces in the front.
Really? You recognize some faces
God, yeah,
in the audience?
A lot of
He has a harem.
a harem.
All right. A lot of groupies. Yeah, we talk about that later after the interview. That will be an extra show, 1 or 2 hours. Okay, would you like to reveal something from the set list? Maybe, I guess the bigger part of the songs comes from the glory age of glam rock from the 70s.
The word glam rock is a very, very poignant, small area.
I'm sorry.
In what we've been doing, but as it happens, all the big hits came from that era. That 3 years, and I guess that's why people still want to call it that.
Yeah.
I think SWEET have slightly transcended that. We've been around now this is our 51st year, and I guess 3 years out of 51, not too bad, But let's leave that there.
Yeah.
But the show does get mixed up. There's an acoustic section in the middle, and with some different treatments of some of the songs, and
we've got Bruce playing a really good drum solo. So.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's good. Nice bit of variety.
Okay. Yeah, I saw today Sabaton, Powerwolf, Hammerfall, and SWEET. You will play on Wacken this year in August. Are you looking forward to this crazy mud festival of metalheads?
Well, we were invited, Pete and I, to go and play with Doro last year. Yeah. And even though we've done some shows for the people who promote Wacken, we've never played Wacken.
Yeah.
And I think they probably saw something, or maybe have decided that maybe it's our turn.
So still after 51 years, there's new things in your
something
career.
new, absolutely.
Yeah, something new.
And I'll tell you something, looking from the stage last year, I thought I'd seen some crowds in my time, but looking across that audience was just something unreal,
75, was it 75 or 80,000?
Well, I think there was at least
it's
that.
insane,
yeah. It's massive, yeah.
I know, okay. I know this question was maybe asked 100 times before, but I just got to ask. Your relationship to the German fans, it's something special. Of course, if you only check out the #1 albums, I think in your home country there was one, right? And in Germany there
one
were
single at
Blockbuster,
yeah.
And in Germany there were 8. So if you come to Germany, everybody gets excited, and the tickets are sold out in a few minutes. That's how I feel, right?
Well, when you've had that amount of success, chart-wise, it sometimes doesn't always translate the way that you expect it to. I mean, we used to do arenas in the 70s, but we still do some arenas. We still do some clubs. I actually think the mixture of the two kind of venues is really good. In some ways, I quite like playing a club. You know, my sound engineer doesn't, because he always says we're too loud. But there's a great feeling especially in a German rock club, you know, that holds about 1,000 people. It's fantastic.
That's a completely
I think generally
different thing,
as well, the German audiences, the people in Germany have got a different appreciation to live music to back at home, if I could say that, be that general. I think the German people enjoy going out more and experiencing live music, and it's just a bigger, more proactive market in this country. You know, not just for this band. I mean, I'm talking across the board, really. It's fantastic.
There seems to be an industrial type unit that's got a venue for about 1,000 metalheads in virtually every town or city in Germany, and it's good to see.
That's true. What I always ask myself, do you adapt the set list to the countries you're performing? I mean, okay, in Germany you could fill half an evening only with #1 hits, but for example, let's take Wig-Wam Band. It was a #1 hit single in Germany back then, but in Sweden it did not even reach the top 10. Could that possibly have an influence on the set list? Could someone say something like that? Or do you just say, no, we play what we want wherever we are, don't care?
Back in the 70s, we definitely played what we wanted, you know, not what somebody else would think that we would play. I think it's become quite a broad spectrum now. We tend to play all the hits wherever we are. I didn't realize that Wig-Wam Bam hadn't made the top 10 in Sweden, because most of the other things did. So throughout Europe, on a festival, if you play on a festival, you've got to play the songs that they're going to recognize. Sure. Otherwise, why are you there? I mean, I've heard of bands going out there and playing their latest album, and nobody knows any of the songs, you know. Sure. So it's a funny one. I mean, I would say that if you've had success, you play those as often as possible.
Yeah. I'm with you there. Still Got the Rock, that name made me think, after so many years in rock and roll business, after thousands of concerts, and in Pete Lincoln's case, also thousands of groupies. I mean, with more than 55 million sold albums on the planet, I guess it's not really the money that makes you go. At an age when many others already enjoy their retirement. But what is it that really keeps you going? What is it that thrills you? The magic that happens? There must be something.
Well, it's everything, isn't it? It's the whole lifestyle. I think is so different to doing a 9-to-5 job. So different compared to what most people are doing.
Well, it's better than working, isn't
it? And there's definitely an addiction to the buzz of playing in front of a live audience. You know, because when you stand at the end of the night, as the last echoes of Ballroom Blitz are falling away and the crowd are going absolutely crazy, then you think, you know, I mean, it's a real buzz. And there's not many jobs where you can get that buzz.
That's true.
Yeah. I've spoken to many other musicians of my kind of era, and we were on the Rock Meets Classic tour with Ian Gillan and a couple of American guys, Kevin and Mike. And I said to Ian one night, I went, well, we're still out there doing, you know, and then I said to him, but what else would we do? And he went, yeah, right. You know?
Good question, yeah.
I said, if you're healthy enough and they want to hear your music, why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, the Swede is an institution rocking since 50 years and more. I guess you just said the crowd is going crazy at Ballroom Blitz. That could... I mean, there are also so many young people in your audience. Yeah. I guess 2 years ago, when the trailer from Guardians of the Galaxy 2 came out, there was Fox on the Run used, and it was also in the soundtrack, like ELO and who else? I forgot it. Cheap Trick, Fleetwood Mac, and everything else. But your song was used in the trailer, and it was watched 1 million times. And I think on Spotify, the song exploded. It's 3 times in your top 10, and
it went back in
it must have changed something.
Well, it went back in the Billboard charts in America. So
sorry, I forgot.
We do see a lot of younger faces, though. I mean, I noticed last night in Frankfurt there was a lot of younger people in the first 25% of the crowd.
How does that feel for you? I mean,
it's
that must be
great.
crazy. They weren't even born when.
No,
Yeah.
it's great to see them all singing the words, and like Andy always points out, it's always interesting to see the guys in the heavy metal T-shirts singing Wig-Wam, Bam, Little Willie,
Yeah, it's not a good look, an older man with younger audience in front of him.
It sounds good.
I don't know.
Okay. I feel a bit sorry for the next question, but I just gotta ask. Back in 1975, when the Scorpions were still named the Hunters, I guess you know what I'm asking now. Yeah, they made a German cover of "Fox on the Run." Maybe for those who haven't heard, maybe we can just play it. Do you understand anything what Klaus Meine is singing?
No,
I don't.
I've spoken to Klaus about this because the Scorpions supported the Sweet in the 70s on 2 big tours in Germany and Scandinavia. And Klaus always reminds me, he said, we just called ourselves the Scorpions. And he said, without those tours, he said, I don't think we'd be where we are today, And I said, well, just write me a check. That'll do.
Did he ever do that?
No, but
Damn it.
he's a nice guy.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy because normally you don't cover a song and translate it into a different language because the words don't rhyme anymore. So
Was that a hit, though?
No, it wasn't. Most of the people don't even know.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Okay, but when you first heard that German version, what did you think? I mean,
It's not bad, is it? It's pretty good.
If you hear the lyrics, I don't know if I would agree. I think if you would have understood back then, you would have thought something like, "Oh my God, they abused our song."
What were the lyrics then?
For example, there's a translation. He sings "Fuchsi, geh voran," and then "Geh in den Bau." What can also mean something like "go to prison." So it makes no sense. It's difficult. I can't explain it, but it makes no sense at all if you check the original lyrics in English. All right. I would have.
Well, the original lyrics didn't make any sense either.
Okay, I didn't know that because I'm not a native speaker, maybe. The most popular or successful song is not always the song the band themselves prefer the most. For example, Ian Gillan, I think from Deep Purple, he said, "It's not Smoke on the Water, it's Child in Time." Led Zeppelin said, "It's not Stairway to Heaven, it's more like Kashmir." What would it be with the Sweet?
Oh,
Now, don't say Ballroom Blitz.
I don't know. Playing live, you kind of look forward to the last run of songs, because they run so nicely. I always have to say "Love Is Like Oxygen" because it was the slightly different song that
Me too, yeah.
that has got. It's a song that brought us back to other territories in the world that had not forgotten us, but where we'd had a little bit of a lull. It brought us back in America and Asia, and but in Europe and the UK. But in Europe, we were still having hits with other material. So, "Fox on the Run," I think is certainly one of those songs.
Absolutely, I agree. Andy, you have seen a lot of different lineups in the last 50 years. And if one day you say, "Okay, I got enough. I want to enjoy my retirement," would that spell the end for the band? I got to start again. If you say one day, "I've got enough," and would it be okay for you if the Sweet would go on? Yeah, cut it, please. If the Sweet would go on without any founding member, or would you say no?
I don't know. I mean, there are some American bands now that are treading the boards, as they say, without a true original member, and very good they are. I mean, I've seen a live concert with Leonard Skinner, for example, and
I think there's still one left. Yeah, Gary Rossington.
Is there one real original from the very
he's
beginning?
the last one, last man standing.
All right, well,
but you're right. Yeah,
I didn't know that. And I know that there's a lineup of Canned Heat, for example. They keep falling off the perch, sadly.
It's a very tricky question, isn't it? Because on the one hand, the music can survive, but on the other hand, there's a lot of for a lot of fans out there, it would just be an absolute no.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very,
Yeah.
it's a difficult balance.
You
that.
walk
So-
the line of becoming a tribute
Yeah,
to
well,
yourself,
exactly.
you know.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can only imagine one band. I think the Little River Band from Australia.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a single founding member left,
well,
but they're still
that's a very
touring.
sad. That's a very sad story because we met them, you know, back then, and they were a great band. And for some reason, they obviously thought, oh well, it's over, and they left an American guy to trademark the name, and he does the casinos now as the Little River Band.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You know, and
Oops.
and the Australians can't use the name.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, could both of you maybe share an easily remembered memory from some crazy incident or accident with a fan? I mean, there must
Over
have
to
been.
you, Pete.
Oh, come on. What is this?
Pete has to start.
With a fan.
Yeah, maybe backstage or. Okay, it could be also.
Fans aren't allowed
Well, we could
backstage.
make something up.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
No.
If nothing comes to your mind,
Nothing's coming to my mind at the moment. Ask me one on sport.
what was maybe the most embarrassing moment you had on stage?
the most embarrassing
Well-
moment on stage?
Okay, in the 70s, when we used to wear the silver leather suits, I did the old aeroplane kick, you know, with the legs out,
All right.
and the undercarriage came down. And there I am, stood with the meat and two veg and the whole of the audience looking at it. And my roadie, with silver gaffer tape, rushed on stage and taped everything up.
Nice. Good
Getting
roadie.
it off later was hell.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can't top that.
All right, I see. Okay.
No, sorry.
What was maybe one of the greatest moments that just comes to your mind when you think of the last?
One of the greatest moments for me since I joined the Sweet was when we were in Adelaide in Australia. We performed with the Doobie Brothers, who were big heroes of mine when I was growing up. And Andy and I were sitting in the wings watching the show. And Pat came off stage at the end and took us on stage to sing the encore with them. And that was, I mean, so it's not a sweet moment, although it is because it was you and me that did it. But but going on stage and singing with the Doobies was
Listen
a big
to the
blast.
music.
Listen to the music. We did, yes, that was a big blast. So that was just a funny little moment. Yeah.
All right. Bohemian Rhapsody. I guess you went to the cinema and watched the movie.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay.
It's absolutely blinding, you know.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I guess I express exactly what a lot of Sweet fans think when I say, wouldn't it be nice to have a biopic like that, but with a name, for example, Ballroom Blitz? I don't know.
Well, a couple of times somebody has talked to us and it just never comes off. One of the guys who was involved with the Quo film, Hello Quo, he keeps popping up from time to time, but then he goes off on a new venture. So the last time he did it, my friend and sort of business helper said to him, "You better get on with this before he dies, mate." You know.
Yeah, wouldn't have said that. Okay. Yeah, but why does that always happen? It's just the same what Brian Downey from Thin Lizzy told me when I asked, because there was also something going on with a documentary or a big movie. But
Yeah.
Well, that would be an interesting one as well, wouldn't it, Thin Lizzy?
of course, yeah. But I mean, in the story of the Sweet, there's also, I guess, enough adventures to be told.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most of them aren't for public consumption.
Ah, okay.
Yes, but it might
thinks
make
of his
it-
groupies
It
again.
might make for an interesting film, though, an
Yes.
X-rated biopic rather than something that the kids can go and see.
Yeah, I'm sure Thin Lizzy's would be similar as well.
Yeah.
We were on, Scott Gorham was with us on the Rock Meets Classic thing recently, so yeah.
Nice.
He's a
But he would not be the person to ask, would he? Because as
He
he
can
owns
remember-
up,
he
he
can't
doesn't
remember
remember
anything.
much.
Heard about it. Okay. Are there any new releases coming? Whatever, a new live album or maybe even some new song material? I mean, it's
well,
been a while.
We're talking to Sony at the moment about possibility of a new album, and we'll see what happens.
Right.
You know,
guess I have to be happy with that answer. All right. I'm a big fan of the Black Keys myself. I saw the only song that is in your top 10 Spotify is Gold on the Ceiling. And I love this song from El Camino. And I think you did such a great cover. And obviously a lot of other people just think like I do. But whose idea was it?
Well, I read a review in England when the song was first, when the album was first sent to the press, and we were about to go in the studio to do the covers album, and I read it said, "This band sounds like the Sweet on acid."
All right,
and I went, "Wow,
check that out.
We've got to check this out." And when we heard the song, I went, "We could do this."
Nice.
We included it in the live set for that year or 18-month period after we made the covers album.
Well, we did a covers album tour, the NYC tour.
It went down very well. It was a good one to do live, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was. I think a lot of people thought, okay, the Black Keys covered it from the Sweet because your sound is a bit more retro than. But it's really good. Okay, next question. Tonight you will play at the Capitol in Mannheim. I don't know if you played there before.
Yeah.
All right.
A while back.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about this location? It's beautiful, right?
It's a nice theatre. Yeah. It's a very nice theatre.
Okay, Andy Scott, back in 1978, you were nominated for an Ivor Novello Award because of the composition of a song we already talked about, and that still gets a lot of airplay, Love is Like Oxygen. But you lost narrowly against the saxophone masterpiece Baker Street from Gary Rafferty and Raphael Ravenscroft. If you hear that song on the radio, do you ever recall the moment back then, or
no?
Is it a mean question?
I was away touring in America.
Okay.
And when the Ivors were being, and they were a much smaller event back then, it was just in the basement of some hotel. You know, they weren't filmed. You know, it was just like a music night. And they gave the award to my manager, and I never saw the award. So about 10 years ago, somebody said, "I'm sure they'll give you a replacement." So I asked for one, and I got sent two. So,
all right.
I know that we won one of the categories, but it wasn't like the best song musically and lyrically. But Baker Street, well deserved.
Yeah. Okay, I hoped you would say something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess both of you can say, all right, I achieved a lot in my life. I made a lot of people happy by bringing music into their souls, into their head, whatever. So are there any dreams left for your future, for your personal future, or for the future of the Sweet, whatever?
Well, we haven't really talked too much, but you've got a new venture. Called the Frontmen.
Yeah, this is my final tour with the Sweet. This tour. So
I know.
You know about that.
Yeah, I try to avoid.
But that's all right. That's okay. We're all still friends.
Yeah,
I'm leaving at the end of May, and Paul Manzi is a great friend of ours. He's coming into the band, and the band will continue rocking just as hard as they ever did. And I'll still be floating around occasionally in the background somewhere and coming to do a gig sometime. You know. And I'm going to pursue the frontman thing. So I mean, that's, you know, I've got ambitions for that. It's going well. It's interesting for me. I like it's easier. It's I'll say this. It's easier on my voice than it is doing the Sweet show, because it's quite a tough sing. Doing the Sweet.
Yeah, 2 hours singing Sweet songs.
It's quite hard work.
I challenge anybody.
And I'm working with two guys that I've known for a very, very long time, since the 90s, and we're good mates. So we're going to pursue that project for a while and see where it takes us. And so that's just something I wanted to do, and I can't physically be in two places at once, so we can't do both.
And you can't say never, you know, never say never.
No.
You know, it's...
so nobody's burning any bridges, you know.
That's good to hear, yeah.
And, you know, life goes on, and we'll see where we all get to, you know.
And mine's a very simple one, just try and keep us healthy so that I can continue to do it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, having... had a couple of chats with a couple of people of my era again, and you realise that oh, he hasn't been that well, but he's good now and he's back on the road. You know, it's that's all we can look for. I can't do those leaps anymore, and I'm not really throwing my guitar around the stage like I used to. But I'm still hitting the high notes when I sing.
Nice.
And I may not be playing all the notes. I'm playing all the right notes, but not necessarily in the right order. You know, so.
All right. Who cares?
Yeah.
So you think maybe you will do it like Mick Jagger and play?
Oh no, he's quite lively, isn't he? My God,
absolutely. I know. I
Still
think he
having
goes.
kids as well.
Yeah, he only eats fresh fruit and vegetables and goes jogging and whatever, yoga and what else? Okay,
The Rolling Stones. You've got a dichotomy there. You've got Jagger and Richard.
yeah, I know.
One has had the real life, and the other one is now a vegetarian. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Okay, one last question. It's no secret. Gene Simmons literally said, "Without the Sweet, there would have been no Kiss." And Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue, Joe Elliott from Def Leppard, and who else? Who I know, they all tried to be like you because you were style defining back in the days. You were idols for them. When you hear a song from one of the mentioned Def Leppard, Kiss, Motley Crue on the radio or wherever, did you ever think something like, "Yeah, well done, guys, but you wouldn't have been there without me, possibly"? I mean,
well, no, you can't really think like that. But I have had the conversations with Joe Elliott, especially. The Motley Crue thing was really strange when the guys from the band Europe. I was in Sweden producing a band in the late '80s, and they took me to see Motley Crue in the Globen in the ice hockey stadium. And they started their set with the stripper music and went straight into Kickstart My Heart. Now, the Kickstart My Heart has got the same guitar riff as Hellraiser. Right. And Sweet, back in the 70s, used to start with the stripper into Hellraiser. And they were looking at me, and I'm just going, well, you know, here we go. You know, history does repeat itself, you know.
That's true, I guess. Yeah, I mean, a lot of genres, maybe glam metal, they're coming up again. Yeah, I don't know if you can say that about glam rock, but like you already said, that was just one era of the Sweet.
No, it's an important era.
Yeah,
you know?
The most important, I guess. Yeah. Okay. If I forgot something. Is there anything important I forgot, or you want to talk about?
We are not that it will affect this area, Mannheim. But we are going to become a 5-piece band from Berlin through to the end. The last 7 shows,
all right.
We're introducing the new guy as well as Pete.
Okay.
So it's going to be an interesting show. We haven't quite worked out exactly how we're going to...
There'll be no fighting.
No fist fights on stage.
We haven't quite worked out who's going to actually do what. Pete is a great guitar player, so it may well be that from a certain point... Tony, who is coming to the middle of the stage, will take the bass, and Pete will become the guitar player.
All right.
And the new guy plays keyboards and guitar. Okay. So it's
Watch this space.
All right.
It should be an interesting last few shows. I think, you know.
That will be crazy. Okay, yeah. And if you want to say anything else to your fans, this is the right camera. Maybe you want to invite them to the show tonight.
Hi, everybody.
Have we got a gig tonight?
No. Well,
it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
Sorry.
Sorry.
My fault.
Well, yes. We'll see you. If you can make it, we're playing at the Capitol Theatre in Mannheim. Please come and see us. You'll have a ball. You'll have a ballroom blitz. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
That would be...
Love to see you there.
Yeah.
That would be one last question. I mean, you must have told it 1,000 times, but what really happened back then? When you wrote the Ballroom Blitz in Scotland, I think it was, right?
It was written by Nicky Chin and Mike Chapman, and we took Mike Chapman to a gig in Scotland. He hadn't seen us for a couple of years, and he was listening to our B-sides and wondering, there's obviously something not quite right here. And he'd just written the Ballroom Blitz, Blockbuster, because the last gig he saw us at, we used to do a cover version of "I'm a Man," the Howling Wolf, but more like the. Sorry, that's me. That is.
If it's Andy Scott, it's all right.
We did a cover version of the Howling Wolf's "I'm a Man," a bit like the Yardbirds, and he loved the guitar riff, and he wrote a blockbuster based around that. But he came up to Scotland in the limousine with us, and what he saw was complete mayhem. Brian and I ended up in the audience, body surfing,
Oh my God.
not intentionally.
But you didn't get hurt.
Well, there were girls with scissors trying to cut our bleeding hair, and we managed to get back on the stage. And from that, he wrote, what he saw in the audience.
It's crazy, but they really try to cut your hair. So if I find some hair from you on eBay, I know maybe it's back from that gig in Scotland.
Well, let's hope it's pubic hair.
Okay, I noticed. All right, thanks a lot, Andy Scott and Pete Lincoln from the SWEET. It was an honor, it was a pleasure. And liebe Fans von The SWEET, nicht vergessen, The SWEET sind den gesamten Mai noch auf Deutschland-Tour. Und solltet ihr es nicht packen, dann habt ihr am 19. Juli nochmal die Chance. On the 19th of July, you will be at what it's like. I think it's in Rosenheim.
Oh yeah,
it's a bit far from here, maybe, but classic rock festival. Forgot the name. Who cares? Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.